Today is about inspiration. It's about heart. It's about giving people a broader vision and reminding them that beauty is possible.
It's just about really taking hair as the muse and making your Picasso. And everything that you'll see tonight is a work of art. We have a lot more to offer than just a really amazing retailer.
Let's do it. This is our chance to really show who Ulta Beauty is, and they're going to get a nice, clear, strong message about who we are and what we're here to do.
We were really inspired by the beautiful wardrobe that we have. Our theme has basically been suspension.
We want these models to be able to walk out there and have people go, wow, look at that hair.
I came to Ulta Beauty with a vision that I wanted to create my dream team that would always be collaborative and always have each other's back. We have the most amazing team.
It's been an amazing journey to be able to collaborate. It's a great way for you to look and see how you're growing as an artist. It's kind of an emotional moment for our little group here, yeah.
Hairstylist of the Year, Daniel Kiesling!
I put my heart and soul into everything I do. I truly, truly could not be the artist I am without you guys, so thank you.
And when you put your heart into it and you have trust and you have each other's back, you can't lose.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Unveiling Beauty. So excited to be with you guys today. Mr. Carver, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. How about yourself?
Doing great.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited about this show. This show is called A Look Back. And what are we looking back on?
Well, we just thought we would take a little second and celebrate and look back on some fun times that we've had as a pro team at Ulta Beauty. And so this episode is all about the way that we created our Salon Team award-winning collection and what went into it, the passion behind it, and obviously some of the key players on the show today are going to give us some tips and some secrets of how they built some of the beautiful looks that helped us win that award.
I love that. And it's the perfect timing because NAHA has opened submissions again for this year, and everybody's getting ready to shoot their collections or storyboard out their collections. And I know we get a lot of DMs on where do you even begin? How did you create your collections? Where do you get inspired? So this show is really to share kind of the behind the scenes of how we do all of this so we can help support all of you on creating your own collections.
Let's get right into it. The first guest that we have up today is Ms. Danielle Kiesling. No stranger to the NAHA world, even in our category as a team player, but also she's the only one on the team who's actually won hairstylist of the year. So we'll give you some major love first. How are you?
Thank you. Thanks. I'm so good. I love NAHA. I love this time of year. And I love, every time we get together as a team, starting to cultivate, what we're going to do for the year. And I love talking about it. It's a huge passion of mine.
That's awesome. Yeah, this is definitely, I think, one of the most fun shoots that we do throughout the year. So, we named the shoot Suspension. Tell everybody why we did that.
So, I think anytime we're creating a collection, just so you all understand, it's, we drive from inspiration from something. So this particular collection was really kind of cultivated from the wardrobe. And we found this amazing designer. She had all these elements of almost like bridges and real structured architect in her clothing and, made with woods and different types of elements. And when we started putting together the whole vision for the show, all the way to when we actually got to see it on stage, we started we were seeing in those visions a lot of bridge work, a lot of architect, and it just kind of all came together. And, we kind of came up with the name Suspension.
So speaking of which, what I want to ask you, Danielle, is I think what a lot of people are fascinated by, and I don't mean this to sound boastful, but I think we do it particularly well on this team, is we have really, really talented artists on this team, and it's essential to be able to collaborate and have strong ideas, but be able to work together. So describe to our viewers how we manage that with some really, really strong hairdressers on this team.
Yeah, we have everyone has a very unique style, and it really brings a huge game to the team. But yeah, you get a bunch of hairstylists that are kind of at the top of their brands, and it's like, how do we not all, want to take ownership over each other? And honestly, from being part of this team from the very beginning, we've never actually, I don't recall being stepping over each other's toes or anything. Like, we seamlessly work together, and I think that it's because we have a lot of respect for each other. And we also, it was really cool at the beginning of the start of this team to go, gosh, we've all been in this industry for anywhere from 10 to 20 years, maybe 30 years. And to come back and come together with artists from different brands, we were learning things from each other, like left and right. And sometimes when you're out in the industry and you're always teaching and you're always looked up to as the mentor, you almost forget what it feels like to be a mentee. And the unique thing about our team is that we really play to each other's strengths, and we teach each other what our strengths are, knowing that, we're only stronger together the more we build each other up. And it goes everywhere, anything from when we're talking texture to when we're talking color. I mean, as a colorist, I can't tell you how much I've learned from, Sonia and Sean being both colorists. And I'm like, wow, it's a really unique experience. And, I think we nailed it that year with NAHA for sure.
Is there yeah, I would agree with you on that. I think the collaboration is what makes our team successful, right? Is the ability to really just feed off of each other's ideas and support each other. That said, is there a particular look in the collection that you found particularly drawn to, or maybe it was your favorite?
I love all of the looks because they're all so unique. And as I went, because I checked out the looks again today to make sure that they were fresh in my memory. And as you see them, you can see the artist that was like really driving that particular look, but at the end of the day, we all supported each other's look. I remember going through that room and being so excited. I mean, you guys know that I worked on that Swarovski crystal floating piece for I don't know how long, individually stoning those Swarovski crystals on that fishing line. But I also remember walking through that room, even though we took ownership of a look, and we were all like swapping back and forth. And like all of a sudden, like Sean would come over and, adjust the topper, and I would be over, holding hair for Sonia, or we were, and that's the cool thing again about our team. So, I think all the looks are individually expressive for the lead, but I don't know if I have a particular favorite. Like I said, I'm a little partial to the Swarovski crystal because I worked on it so long, but there's nothing about that collection that I just don't absolutely love. And literally, when I look through everything that I've done in the past, it's one of the faves.
Oh, that's awesome. I'll tell you, I agree. I think, we've done a lot of cool shoots, and hopefully we have a lot more cool shoots ahead of us. I will say that one, yeah, we do for sure. But that one definitely, every piece of the puzzle fit really, really well. And I think it was a true passion project, and you could tell because everybody poured their heart into it. And, for anybody out there who's thinking about doing a photo shoot, like if you're not really passionate about it and you really don't believe in what your concept is, don't do it. You have to rethink your concept then, because you have to get really excited and passionate about it in order for it to turn out really exceptional. And at the end of the day, no, it's true, right? And
no, I did.
If you submit something that doesn't make it to the finals or doesn't win, don't worry about it. Just make sure that it's your best work. And if it's your best work and you're proud of it, then you already won. So you kind of have to go into it thinking about it like that.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more, Nick. It becomes like a benchmark for me every year, right? Not whether I make the finals or not, but am I growing as an artist? If I look back at my work, do I see a progression in my skill set, in my style? Like that's for me what NAHA has always represented, and what we try to share with our design team members is it's a way for you to win or lose. It's a way for you to see, like literally see your growth as an artist, and kind of like every year just like check in and say, hey, am I pushing myself? Am I creatively and technically pushing myself? So I love NAHA for that reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I actually think back to when I was starting to construct my particular look in this shoot. And I remember the creative process in my brain obviously goes really, really big first, and then I start to bring things down. And that particular look, I remember struggling with my own creativity, because I was like, well, I think we need some, like, you know, chicken wire underneath to build the shape. And I was, of course, going to some way extreme end of trying to be creative. So when I actually took a step back and realized I didn't need any of that to get to the end result, and it turned out really good, it was a moment in my own creative journey where I realized, like, sometimes less is more, and sometimes taking a step back to really understand what you want to create will help you kind of roadmap your way through that look. So, I mean, I still have those personal growth every time we shoot.
Absolutely.
So true.
Danielle, thank you so much for joining us, and for you kind of skirted around the favorite one, but you gave us the Swarovski crystal one was probably the one we nailed on right there.
You know me. That's only because Nick puts me in the corner with like hours of work, right? Give her the most detailed thing. We've talked about that.
I was like, I don't say that you don't play that up as one of your strengths.
No,
like, we know that you
I
love
see.
being able to
He said, as long as at 5 o'clock you give her a glass of red wine, she'll be fine. She'll keep working.
And then she can keep going for another 4 hours.
Yeah.
So we're good.
Labor laws I think we're breaking there, but
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Danielle. It's so good to see your face.
Thank you, guys.
Take care. All right, Eamon. Well, who's our next guest up?
Our next guest is the legend, Miss Sonia Dove. How are you, Sonia?
Hello, Nick and Ammon.
I'm just going to go around calling you the legend.
The legend. I love it. The legend in the flesh.
Sonia,
how have you been?
Very, very good. Really great. I'm super excited about this Unveiling Beauty, because it's a very passionate team collection together. So when I saw it, I was like, yay! Yeah.
So Sonia, talk to us a little bit, because we're trying to really like enlighten people, or let them in and kind of on the inside world of what it took to create this collection. So in your opinion, like what's the wardrobe importance, or how important is wardrobe for the overall collection?
Well, actually, each collection starts with something, whether it's an inspiration for hair, shoes, it can even be jewelry. But for us, I feel I remember that moment where we all sat down and we were showing different designers that we loved. And all of us had a designer in mind, Iris von Herpen. And it's a European designer, but she does very structural clothes. So what we did is we were chatting with our photographer, Richard, who was doing the shoot, and he knew of someone in Europe that had a very similar look called Wind. And I tell you what, they absolutely killed it. Even down to the shoes. We didn't see a lot of the shoes in the photographs, but the shoes were literally like sculptures. I've never seen anything like it. So when we saw the collection and we explained a little bit about the colors, we want the colors to be very light and white. They started to send us pictures, and then all of us started, what if we did this? What if we did that with the hair? And then it just came together like, it was like watching a flower open, or that's not the best. It's not the best analogy, but it just popped in my head. But it started to just flourish. And then we started to do the models and so on and so on. But clothes are very, very important. I think many times when I see collections for NAHA, for any competitions, you've got this beautiful hair imagery, but sometimes you've got to really make sure that the clothes either don't detract from the hair or they attract. You really, it's a fine line, because they can be busy, but they can be simple. So clothes are extremely important, extremely important.
I agree. It's all about the balance and proportion and composition of the image in the end. So really playing off the shape of the wardrobe or the shape of the hair to complement or accent the wardrobe, I think is so critical in kind of that whole entire look and feel towards the end of the image that you're looking for.
Yeah.
You know, Sonia, we also had our design team there, and I think it was a really cool opportunity for mentorship. Talk about that.
Yes, well, actually, starting from the pro team, the mentorship there between us as a group was incredible, because I know I'm speaking personally, Danielle and Ammon and Nick, yourself, you do a lot of styling, and Sean does as well, actually. So I was a little bit nervous to be coming up with an avant-garde look. But I have to say, I had the ideas in my head. I knew exactly what I was going to do. I spent hours and hours creating my look at home before I came. But it was the design team that really helped me. Even though I was mentoring them, they helped me clear the fogginess in my own head. And I remember I had like at one point 5 of them helping me, because it was like a construction. I know my nickname for my hairstyle was Helicopter. Thank you very much.
we all have
so
them.
Cool.
We all have them. Yeah.
But what the design team did is they really helped me construct it, and they could see things that would work on the style better than I could, because I had the tunnel vision on it, whereas they had more of an open mind. So it's great really working with them. And I have to say, for them, I mean, what a dream come true to be at NAHA, to assist the pro team, to be amongst that energy, because that evening that we did our collection, it was our show. We were on stage doing the show. So it was a double whammy. It really was. And I'm sure, I know I speak to them now and again fairly often, and it still was a very joyous moment and a game changer in their career, which is what we want for them, because they're our little babies.
They're growing up fast too. They're growing up fast. And Sonia, I love the way you said that, because they're like sponges, right? They're hovering around. They want to learn. They're looking, but they do have that fresh perspective, and especially what you just said. I know we're going to talk about it a little bit with Sean, but you mentioned something that for the first time it's kind of come up at this show on this episode, is that we were shooting these models, but we were getting them ready for the runway show, right? So it's not as though when you're doing a photo shoot, you have the cheat image that you can get it for. We had to make sure that these were 360 degree looking good. So you can't just look in the mirror and make sure it's balanced. You have to make sure that you have all the way around when she's walking on that stage, that it looks fantastic. So that was another challenge that they were there to help us with their many sets of eyes as we were looking around, right? So I'm just going to ask you the same question that Nick asked Danielle, because I think it's I'm curious. Did you have a favorite now that all the collection is complete?
And you know, it's ironic that Danielle said exactly the same thing as I did this morning. I actually re-looked at the pictures, so I was clear about them, because we've done many shoots since, and they're all individually unique. They really, really are. There's not one that's like each other. I have to say, I did like Sean Goddard's, the construction of it was amazing. I liked it because it was a redhead. Hello. But they were all incredible. And of course, the one I did, I'm passionate about, because it took me so many months to come up with the idea. But I don't feel, for me, it's the best at all. It was like having a dream in my head and seeing my dream visualize. That in itself was very, very special for me. Was it the best? Not really. It was all. Everybody's was fabulous.
So cute. Ever the most humble person I've ever met in my life. Right, Nick?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. 100%.
So
one thing
go ahead.
One thing I did learn, though, what you have down on paper. And I had this idea on paper. I made all the pieces. It's the one with the chains, with the hair hanging on the ends. It was all hunky-dory until I realized, it's got to be like scales. And so I didn't realize it was such a difficult style for the model to walk in for the show. It was more of a photo shoot hair than a show idea, because I didn't really want her to move, because every time she moved, it tilted from one side to the other. And me being Miss Perfection, didn't want it to tilt. And then Ammon and Nick, you got me out of my comfort zone and said, Sonia, look what happens when she moves around. It's actually got more life and strength in it. And I could not see that myself. So thank you, you two, for pushing me out of my boundaries, because I was like very nervous.
That's what we do for each other.
So you're so cute. I love it. Like the flower blossomed. It was so perfect. I loved it. Well, thank you so much, Sonia. Nick, anything before we let our Miss Sonia go today?
No, just thank you. Good to see you. Miss you so much.
Always.
I can't wait to see you in person. Give you a big hug. Mwah.
Miss you too.
Bye-bye.
All right. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
All right. Well, we're not done. We have one more amazing artist. Well, he's kind of okay. Right?
Yeah, he's all right.
Yeah, he's all right. So why don't we bring to this show Mr. Sean Goddard?
Hello, boys.
Hey, buddy.
How are you guys doing?
Good to see you, my friend.
You too.
I see you have two new light friends behind you.
Yes, we've got the new lights. Since this is the new work from home for a while, we might as well make it look good.
I agree. I'm continuously adding to my home theater. I'm calling it my home studio.
You and David especially, I'm like, oh, I need to get one of those. Oh, I need to get one of those. You guys are always buying new lights. I'm like, oh, my place is just turning into like a live studio.
Oh my God, so funny. All right, so let's talk about this shoot. Let's talk about, we talked about it with the girls about how it started off as a photo shoot and then turned into a runway show. What was that experience for you? Because I know that was the first time for all of us that we did a photo shoot and a runway show in the same day. So what did that feel like for you?
It was a pretty crazy experience. And especially when we're talking about avant-garde hair, like they were saying earlier, sometimes that only looks good from one angle because of how we created it. So the task to be able to create something that looked great 360 in real life and just in photo was really cool. What I also loved about it was that we really tackled two projects in one. We were able to give a really great show and have an award-winning photo shoot. So it was a very successful little weekend in wherever we were. I forget now.
It was in Vegas at the time. It was in Las Vegas. And I will echo your sentiments. It was magic, but it was like, it was stressful, right? Because it gave us a lot of pressure to make sure that we were ready at a time and that the looks were perfect. And what a great idea, because I remember we were originally just thinking about using the collection, maybe getting it published, and this was our NAHA just presentation. It wasn't even going to be our entry. Remember, Nick? And we looked at it and we were like, this is so strong. We're like, we have to hold this and actually enter it in NAHA in the team category. So it was so funny that people got to see it live, and then it came back and it actually won the award the following year when we entered in the team category. So it was one of those days that I know that none of us will forget.
I'm just going to remind you guys that next time I say we need to do a little bit more in a day or a little bit more in a shoot, that it's possible.
You know how I feel.
Way to maximize the time.
It's a different show. I'm like, somebody picked me up off of the floor before we moved.
Right.
I'm like,
everybody's got PTSD.
So Sean, speaking of PTSD, what would you say is your favorite part about working on this pro team?
My favorite part is actually, well, there's two elements to it. I love being able to create, of course, and work with all of you guys, but I also love being able to share. You guys know my passion is teaching and educating, and being on the pro team, being able to be with our design team, it allows us to continue to pass on all of those like tips, tricks, ideas, and really bounce them off of one another. So for me, it's the two elements. It's being creative, but of course also giving and sharing and helping the next generation.
Well, you do that so well. I have to be honest. I still get excited to watch you teach something because you have such an amazing form of delivery when you teach. It's so easy to follow you. It's like you get right to the point. It's very effective, and then you can go to work and you can recreate it. And I personally appreciate that. So I just want to say thank you. I always like watching you.
I'll second that appreciation on many levels.
So we asked the girls this. We have to ask you, what was your favorite look from the collection?
I know, and the girls totally skirted around the answer, but
that's not your style, though. That's not your
It's
style.
not my style. No, you know I'm going to go for it. And I'm going to tell you that my favorite look, with all humbleness in me, was actually the look that I created. But here's why. It's not just because I think, oh my God, I did the best look. Not at all. You guys know that normally I'm more involved in color. And when it comes to finishing, of course I can finish hair, but my style tends to be a bit more softer, glamorous, or natural. So stepping out of the box, it's been a while for me to be able to do that. And to have the opportunity to come up with that look and actually see it executed in real life was really an amazing experience. I know we have some photos that they're going to show you guys of kind of when I was working on creating it behind the scenes, testing on a mannequin head. But that look with all of those clips going down, it looks like it's going to be super complicated. And I know Nick was talking about the chicken wire. And when I was doing mine, I thought, am I going to have to put wire or some sort of thing in this? But the really cool part of it, tying in with our theme of suspension, is it was all about tension. So placing those clips right beside one another, the tension they place on the hair was able to suspend that with no wire in it. You could literally manipulate it and move it. So it was just really fun to see it all come together and be able to say, yes, I finally did an avant-garde look that's in a collection.
Well, I'm really happy you actually said that, because I remember that day and I remember how proud you were of yourself. And it was like real genuine, like, oh my gosh, I did this. And like, it really works and it looks good. So, you know, that's okay to be proud of yourself. And I want everybody to know that, like, that there's no conceit and arrogance in being proud of something. It means that you poured your heart and soul into it. And the end result was something that you're proud of. And in the end, that's all you can ever ask for, is to pour your heart into something and have it turn out really well. So congratulations to you, because I know you're such a colorist through and through, and just pushed you out of your comfort zone, and you were sweating on the brow for a minute, and then it really like just came together, and we were all proud to see that happen.
Well, we couldn't have done it. You said it best, as a team. So it was, everybody had a crucial part in it. And I mean, one more thing to mention is, you know, we had our design team there that day, and then they got nominated as well after that. From the
that's true.
So
true.
That was a real home run all the way around for our teams, for sure. Absolutely. And I think I'm going to keep the chicken wire in my kit, because I think it's a thought starter. I think it gets the creative juices going. So expect that to show up somewhere again in the near future.
It showed up at one of our marketing shoots.
It did.
And we're opening up, and somebody in the store, in the Ulta Beauty store, was like, "What's this?" And I go, "I don't even know how to explain what that is."
All right, my friend. Thanks for being on today. I hope to see you very soon. Take care of yourself.
See you, buddy.
Take care, guys.
Thanks again.
All right, Ammon. Let's talk about what everyone can expect on the next Unveiling Beauty.
What a fun episode today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Up next, we are going to jump back into the texture arena, but this time it's going to be all about hair cutting. So we're going to call it trimming that texture. So whether you have relaxed hair or our natural curly girl hair, you'll be one of those that'll want to tune in to see about trimming texture.
I cannot wait for it. But until then, everyone, take care. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to share this on your pages so all your friends and family can learn all about these great tips and tricks. And we'll see you very soon. Have a great day.